You're an expert and you want to create a more profitable, authentic online brand in 2026 and beyond. This is the video for you. First and foremost, you need to understand that you already have a brand. You are the brand. Your experience is your value, your knowledge, your expertise, and what you know that you can help your ideal client with. That's not the question. The question is how can you translate that into the digital world where you love showing up every morning to create the content that can bring the people in to fill your offers and help you live the life that you know you desire to create. Welcome, my name is Melissa Claire. I believe in branding, you have to start with one essential thing. Something that I learned through working with Tony Robbins and his mastermind program. You want to begin with the why. Well, why, you may ask? Exactly. Because the why is the fuel that's going to wake you up every morning, even if you're not getting the results you want. Your why is what's going to keep you moving forward to take the actions that can really allow you to build your brand. Now, before we go on, I would really love for you to go to the link in the comment below and go ahead and download your free playbook so you can use it as we're going through this video. This is like a mini masterclass that I want to help you because these are the things that I wish someone would have sat me down and explained when I began my online business in 2014. So let's keep going. Your why. So it's not just about asking one why. Maybe you might say, I want to make money. Why? Because I'm going to have more freedom. Why? In his teachings, he actually goes 7 layers deep. And I remember hearing that one time he went so deep with someone that they ended up crying by the time they really realized why they want to do what they're doing. I want to get clarity on that why. Because, for example, if you want to wake up in the morning and create content, but you're not really feeling inspired, you can go back to your why. Now, as you do this as well, you're not only answering the question, you're beginning to use one of your most powerful sources of creation, your mind and your imagination. Now remember, a part of your mind doesn't know the difference between what is imagined and what you're actually seeing. That's why visualization is so powerful. And another incredible mentor that I had the privilege to work with was Bob Proctor. And he says, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So if you want to create something, the more you have the why, the more clarity you have in it, you're going to start creating the visions and the feelings and the emotions. And all of this brings you back to why you want to show up and create content. Why do you want to help that client that you know is your ideal client? Why? And as you answer that question, pay very close attention to what is coming up in your mind. What are you seeing? What are you imagining? What would your ideal day feel like? What would you like to do? What would you do at that time? What do you want to do with the extra money you're earning because you're showing up more consistently? That is where I think your brand should begin. So remember, people don't only buy what you do, they're buying why you do it. That's another reason why understanding your why is so essential. Because if you're in a conversation with someone and they say, oh, what do you do? And let's say it's something very technical. And they're like, okay. But if you can tell them a story of why you do it, then they're gonna remember it because people remember stories. We're hardwired for it. You know, I remember when I was a photographer and I was photographing weddings and portraits, and then I literally had a dream. It was like, sing, Melissa, sing. So then I put down my camera for a while and I became a singer and I became a stage performer and I recorded albums because it was my childhood dream. That was my why. When I found myself pregnant with my second daughter, I thought, well, what am I gonna do now with all this experience? And at that same time, I found myself in a big transition. So I wanted to find more inner peace. So I began meditating, doing sound meditations. And that's when I found transformational coaching. So the reason I became a transformational coach was because when I found meditation and sound healing, it made me feel so good. And I wanted to share that with everyone. This is where we go into the next part of branding. Your personal brand should most definitely look and feel like you. You see, your identity and the way you show up, the way you tell your stories, is not something that you have to make believe or make up. We all have this certain personality that we want to share with our audience, with our clients. But I don't want you to create some fictitious person, because you cannot be that person. You have to be you. The version of you that you're envisioning that's connected to your why. First and foremost, if you do not have a Pinterest board for your brand, start creating it. But the Pinterest board isn't just about outfits you like. It's about places you like, colors that you like. It's about the mood that you want people to feel. And as you start to create this Pinterest board, this gives you a visual reference of the way you want your brand to show up. The most important thing is that you're showing up authentically and your audience feels that. Because the worst thing you can do is try to be somebody else, especially if you want to be showing up consistently. You want to be able to pick out something that you love to wear, pop it on, turn on your camera, and feel really good about who you are. Like, imagine this. Imagine that you were invited to a party with a bunch of friends. How would you show up? What would you wear? Now imagine that you're going to a business meeting, but it's a more casual lunch. What would you wear? How would you show up? What would you like to say? You see, all of these instances in real life you can bring into the online world. You know, some people are more casual about the way they show up, or some people are more polished. It all depends on how you really want to show up. I've also asked a lot of my clients, if your brand was a hotel, what hotel would you be? So I want you to think about, would you be a boutique in Paris? Or would you be a beachside resort in Hawaii? Or maybe you're a wellness retreat in nature in Costa Rica. You see where I'm going with this? I hope this really helps you visually. So what if creating a really profitable and authentic brand in 2026 and beyond isn't about creating more content? It's about showing up more as yourself so that your audience or your potential new followers and clients can always identify your why, who you are, who you serve, what you do, what was your experience, what are some of your stories. So with that said, I would love for you to also think about some of your favorite stories that you want to share with your audience. You can put them in different categories. Why I do what I do, that would be some of your stories. What I do, what are some of the experiences that you have doing them, and you want to write them down. You could also talk about the results that some of your clients have had and how that makes you feel as the person offering these results. The method that you use, if you're a coach or if you work in sales, what's one of your main methods, or what's one of the things that you love about your product? You see, you don't have to just stay on the surface level. You can go deeper into everything that you're always communicating with your clients and communicating through your results and communicating through your products. And you can bring those stories, just small stories of the experiences that you had and why that matters to you. If your audience is resonating with it, they're going to see why it matters to them. And that's where you create a click. It's a synergy between you being authentic, having the conversation, telling your story, and your audience saying, ooh, yeah, I can really relate with that. Please write in the comments story. What is one of the stories that you want to share? Personal story? Is it one of your origin stories of why you began? Please write it in the comments. I would love to know. Imagine your online brand a brick and mortar business. It could be a boutique, it could be a hotel, it could be a cafe. And every time you create content, it's like you're making something for that establishment. So I like to think of it as a boutique because I love fashion. So sometimes I like to think about, all right, where would my boutique be? How would it feel when you walk in? What type of items would I have? Those are your teachings. Those are your stories. You want to have them in small bits, right? You know when you go to the counter and there's like all these little things on the counter that you can buy, feathery earrings or the small purse or the lipstick. Those are the small offers that you have. Those are the small pieces of content. Now then you have bigger pieces, like maybe I have this beautiful gown that you could wear to a gala. It's a bigger piece of content, or maybe that's a bigger program that someone wants to invest in. So These types of things really helped me because an online business doesn't really exist except for on your phone or your computer or on your iPad. So the more you can create this sort of like imaginational world and bring it into your 3D and play around with these ideas and really bring your brand to that next level. I want to talk to you about a real truth. Being visible online can sometimes be difficult. Maybe before you go to record something or you create a piece of content, you're looking at it and you're thinking, oh, it could be better, and what do people think, and am I doing this right? You can have all these questions coming in your mind. From what I've discovered, and in using my own system for the visibility reset, I realized that they're just stories. They're past stories, but the stories that you have or that I have are real. They're real to us, and they live inside of our mind. They live especially in our subconscious programming. Stay with me here. Remember, your subconscious mind wants to keep you alive. That is its main job. And then after that, it either wants to help you avoid pain or find pleasure. Now, if being visible, showing up, creating content, talking about yourself, talking about what you do, seeing yourself online is uncomfortable, and it's something that you feel is blocking you from really achieving what you want, I get it. I've been there. And that's actually why I've used AI and I've created some really powerful prompts that have helped me so much. And that's why I created the Visibility Reset. I think that I got on stage in front of 10,000 people very quickly because I was in a radio show. And I had never sang in front of more than 200 people. Then all of a sudden I was in front of 10,000 people, and it was really overwhelming. My nervous system was like, what? And after I did it, I was by myself in the dressing room crying because I felt like, oh, I could have done that better. And I just had all of these emotions just bubbling up inside of me. And then I remember the first time I posted in a Facebook group, and I got the same feelings. It's like this stage fright. It's like this vulnerability of being seen, of being heard. And that's why I love to do this work, because I'm very passionate about it, because I have photographed amazing, talented women who have incredible credentials. And they make beautiful pictures, and then they don't want to post them, or they don't want to show up, or they just keep on studying and they keep on looking at more strategies, or kind of avoiding the thing that makes them feel uncomfortable. And I say this with so much love and reverence for you, my beautiful soul, because I want you to succeed and I want it to be easier for you. And that's why I'm creating this video, and that's why I've created the Visibility Reset. I created a free guide that goes along with this video. You can download it here in the comments, but if you're interested in getting the Visibility Reset, you can go in the description, and it's going to guide you so that you can discover where you're actually holding yourself back. Because in order to heal something, you have to know it's there. It's kind of like if you're walking around and something hurts, you want to stop and you want to look at your foot and you're like, oh, there's a splinter in my foot. Sometimes we don't really know that we have this story in our mind, and it's stopping us from showing up at our fullest capacity. And ask yourself this question: am I holding myself back from my next level of visibility and success from a past belief or an experience that made me feel vulnerable from putting myself out there? There's another really powerful question that I asked here on YouTube. At what age did you feel that it wasn't safe to fully express who you are? And the more you show up, I promise you, the easier it becomes. I want you to be able to bring everything together, and that's why I call it seen, known, and hired. I want you to be seen for who you really are authentically, known for your expertise, your experience, your know-how, and so your audience knows how you can help them, and hired, that you feel confident in charging your premium prices, bring your products and that you're hired for what you know you came to do. And this is where it all really comes together beautifully. If you haven't yet, make sure that you download the free workbook that goes with this video. And you're not really showing up the way you want to. That's why I've created the magnetic visibility reset. You can find that in the description of this video. My name is Melissa Claire, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I never know how to ask it, but please subscribe and like this video. It's so important to me to know who you are and to let the algorithm know that you're enjoying this content. I can't wait to see you on the next one.